Well, howdy friends, and welcome back to the couch. It's Let's Playmond with Ted Raymond. Thanks for joining me. Doing something new now. Finished up Earthbound, and I wanted to move on to something a little different. This is Uncharted Waters New Horizons. This is another Super Nintendo RPG. I'm kind of sticking with that sort of theme on this channel for now. This is an interesting one. So I'll get started just kind of explaining this one a little bit. This is a game that I discovered back during my emulation days when I was first kind of experimenting with Super Nintendo emulators. If you were listening to or watching my Final Fantasy V playthrough, I discussed that a little bit about how that game kind of first sort of broke into Western audiences through emulation. And that kind of opened up a whole new world for me of other games that I had never heard of or played before or ever found. I never owned a cartridge of this game, but it was one that I played a lot when I started getting into Super Nintendo emulation. And of course it started to be released on other things a little later. I got it on the Wii U Virtual Console, I think, and now it's on the Nintendo Switch Online service, which is how I'm playing it right now. And this is such an interesting title. It's so much different from other games of the time. It's kind of like, it's a real first step into sandbox gaming. You know, you hear that especially with like your Grand Theft Auto types, where the world is opened up to you and you've got a lot of freedom to do whatever you want. This game does offer that, and it's for years, I have been trying to find something that does what this game does. And I haven't really been successful in that. It has been, there have been other sailing games, and there have been other, open world games and sandbox games and stuff, but nothing really does what this game does. This game is so unique and so interesting. And so we're going to get started here in just a minute. We'll let this kind of go through. If you're reading these, you can pause and read about the different characters. Because this game, it has been described as 6 games in one, because there are 6 different characters, 6 different scenarios that you can play through. So here are your 6 characters. You've got João Franco, he's Portuguese. Catalina Iranzo is Spanish. Otto Baines is English. Ali Vezas is Turkish. Pietro Conti is Italian. I'm sorry if I'm scrolling through these descriptions too fast, but and then you have Ernst von Bohr, he's Dutch. So you have this game is set in the real world in the Age of Sail, and the major naval powers: Portugal, Spain, England, Turkey, Italy, and Holland. Each of these are represented. Those are the 6 main countries. But it's around, like, it's the early 1500s. I think it starts in 1522. And each of these characters does a little bit of something different. So Catalina, for example, a Spanish naval officer. She leaves the Navy for a life of piracy to avenge the mysterious loss of her brother and fiancé. So she focuses a lot on naval combat. So does Otto Baines. He's a British privateer appointed by King Henry VIII to the Royal Knights in a secret mission to defeat the Spanish fleet. So he does a lot of fighting on the high seas. Ali Vezas is a Turkish merchant, grew up as an orphan in poverty. A twist of fate brings him a merchant ship and a chance to make his fortune, so he does trading, and he makes money through that. Pietro Conti is an Italian adventurer, roams the world in search of treasure and the unknown to pay for the debt his father left him. Ernst von Bohr is a Dutch geographer hired by his cartographer friend Mercator to explore far-off lands and make a map of the entire world. And then João Franco, the son of Portugal's Duke Leon, an adventurer who travels around the world to find the secret of Atlantis. His story does a little bit of everything. These two focus mostly on combat. Ali focuses on trading, and these two focus on adventuring and discovery. So I could do a lot of different things, but I'm going to tell you right now, I want to play as Ernst for this playthrough, in part because I've had a pretty stressful week. This is probably the most relaxing, to me anyway, of the 6 main characters, because all Ernst is doing is basically just traveling all over the world. He's creating a map of the entire world, and we'll see what the map that we have to start with is, and you'll see that we've got a long way to go. Will you change my name? No, we'll keep you as Ernst, and we are ready to start. So that's us right there. Hello, Professor. This is Lucky, my bumping into you. Hello there. Why? Do you have a question from geography class? Why, Professor, your lectures are so clearly presented that your classes are every student's favorite. Of course I don't have questions for class. It's just that Mr. Mercator is looking for you. Wonder why. I'd better go and find out now. See you later. And so Ernst wanders off. May 17th, 1522. Oh, Ernst, I was just looking for you. Actually, I have a favor to ask of you. A favor? Go ahead, I'll do whatever I can to help you out. After all, it was your recommendation that got me the teaching job at the university. Well, then listen up. Now, I know that as a fellow geographer, you have an interest in the cartography of the world. Oh, absolutely. The New World, the Middle East, Asia. I'd love to travel the world and see for myself all of the things I have read about in my studies. But I don't have any money. And a professor's salary, well, I suspected as much. Now, I too have longed to travel the world and discover new lands, but I am old and weak, and though I'm ashamed to admit it, I hate ships. But you're young and strong with a thirst for knowledge and adventure, am I right? Oh, yes, I can't say that teaching is very exciting. I like to live a life on the brink full of unexpected surprises. That's just what I thought. Now, how does this strike you? I'll supply the money. How'd you like to make a career out of being an explorer? Oh, really? Why, I can't think of anything that would make me happier. So you'll go and explore the world in my place? Well, what exactly do I need to do? I need you to seek out the unknown, to explore the vast regions of the world. As you travel to these far-off lands, you'll learn the most sought-after knowledge of our time. Distant ports and uncharted waters. I said the name of the game. So, we can make maps for other sailors. Exactly. My goal is to make a map with details of the whole entire world. No one's done that yet. A map of the whole world. It's a big job. We'll be competing with all the other adventurers, map makers, and scholars. Correct. If we're going to do it, we've got to do it better and faster than anyone else. This map could make us famous. You can count on me, Mercator. All right then, here's the money I promised you. 5,000 gold pieces. There's a ship all ready to go, waiting for you at the docks. You don't waste any time, do you? Have you already decided what to call the ship? Not yet. I thought I'd leave that up to you. Is that so? Well, then it's decided. I'll name it Mercator in your honor, since you can't come with me. I thank you, Ernst. I almost forgot. I'd like to introduce you to someone who's going to be traveling with you. I figured you'd need a mate to teach you the ropes of sea travel, so I searched around for the best in seamen. His name is Hans. Sailor Hans Starton. Ahoy there, Professor. I hear you'll be needing an old sea dog like myself. Hans is my name. Pleased to meet you. I'm Ernst. We've got a long voyage ahead of us, I'm afraid. It may be rough going at times. Are you willing to join me on such a dangerous adventure? Well, Professor, a long time ago, your very own father helped me through a rough spot, and I've been in his debt ever since. I'll do anything I can to help his son, Professor. Thank you, but stop that professor stuff. I'm now officially retired. Why don't you call me Captain? Just like a real seafaring crew. Aye, then Captain it is, Professor. But, never mind. Well, Mercator, thank you again, and we'll be heading off. And don't forget to keep me updated on your progress. I hope you have a safe journey. And now we have control over our character. So, I'm going to explain a little bit about how this game works. In this character's story, the adventure is based on his fame in adventure. So here are Ernst von Bohr's statistics. He's 23 years old, loyal to Holland. He has 11 in seafaring, that's the anchor there, and 1 in combat. He's done no combat, but he's actually a pretty good sailor. The little symbols underneath that, he's got celestial navigation and cartography as his main skills. He has 3 other skills that he does not have. He can only learn 1 of them. The other 2 aren't taught anywhere. And then his stats on the right, and I don't remember fully what they all are. You've got seafaring, which I believe is the anchor there. Knowledge is the book. Intuition is the exclamation point. Charm is the heart. Combat or sword play skills is the sword. Courage is the fist. And I honestly don't remember what the flag is supposed to be. So these are his stats. These determine just different things that he can do. So he's a very good sailor, and he's a very charming person, but he's not very good at battle. He's not a very strong fighter. On this screen is his fame, rank, and friendship. The rank is a royal rank. We'll get to that later. Fame, so you have the 3 boxes. That's fame and trade. The pirate flag is fame and piracy, of course. Naval battles, and the treasure chest is fame and adventure. The way this game works is basically there are 3 different kinds of fame, and each of the characters moves through the story based on the level of fame that they have in the most important fame stat. So Ernst is an adventurer, like Pietro is, and Joao is an adventurer as well, overall in his story. Otto and Catalina need to level up fame in piracy, and then Ali levels up fame in trade. Friendship is how loyal, or is how hostile or friendly the other countries are to you. We're pretty neutral with everybody right now. If you attack other fleets, those numbers will change to red, and that country will be mad at you. You might not be able to visit their ports. They will stop you and arrest you if you go there. And then if it goes really high, then you get some benefits. Hans Starten, he's our first mate. He has celestial navigation as well. He's got a little bit of combat experience, and we pay him 20 gold pieces a month. He's 37 years old, loyal to Holland. So this is the appointment screen, so we can change Hans to the captain of our ship, but of course Ernst is the captain of our ship. We'll get more into this a little bit later. Let's take a look at our ship. It's not very big, it's just a little Caravella Latina. It doesn't have a figurehead, it has no cannons, we've got some materials, and then on the right we have the stats of our ship, so it can move fairly quickly. Doesn't have a lot of strength. That's the kind of arrow against the wood there. The barrel is its cargo space. We have 120 points of cargo space. We have room for 30 crewmen. We have 20 crewmen, and but we're doing pretty good. We're full up on things. We have 40 barrels of water and 40 barrels of food rations to go sailing with. And our crew right now, we have 20 men, 10 of them are assigned to navigation, 5 to lookout, 5 to combat. So that's the first thing we're going to change. There's a lot of windows and a lot of stats, and explaining that is going to be something that I'll just kind of do as we go along. So we're going to assign crew first here. So we've got 20 guys. Allocate crew for navigation. We'll do 50% for that, and we'll do 50% for lookout, 0 for combat. We're not going to be getting into any fights with this crew. Is this okay? Yes. So we'll set that up as it is. The rations, they get 100%. We can lower it, but your crew will be unhappy if you do that. But it can come in handy if, for example, you're on a very long voyage and you need to save on rations. So here's the world map right now. We've got Europe, as you can see, and a bit of Northern Africa, the Mediterranean there in the bottom right corner. Everything else is dark. We have not been anywhere else. So that's what we know. One of the things I'm going to do, I set the movement to slow. I know a lot of people like it on fast, but I prefer it moving like this, because the NPCs move too fast if it's on fast, and it's harder to talk to them. If you've just started sailing, you can gain experience and fame quickly by signing up for easy missions at a guild. That's this building right here. This is the bank. They will lend you money, and you can save money there. Hey, you're a trader, aren't you? Glass beads are the specialty of this port. And this building with the scales is the trade building, so that's where you buy and sell trade goods. This is the lodge. It's basically an inn. You can sleep here, and you can choose the time you want to get up. This is the item shop, so you can buy different kinds of useful tools and items and weapons and things of that nature. For example, in this store, we can get a telescope, a sextant, and a theodolite for determining our latitude and longitude, and telescope just helps us see things better. And a telescope will cost you 5,000 gold pieces. That's all our money, so we're not going to buy it today. The shipyard is down here. This is where we can buy used ships and commission a new ship. Building a new ship will take months, and it's a long and expensive process. This lady, there's always a lady in the town near the shipyard who will tell you, I saw a used balsa ship at the shipyard. So she'll tell you what kind of ship, like one random used ship that's somewhere in the town. There's another lady NPC. You can buy modern navigation instruments in this town, who will tell you a little fact about each port that you stop in. So that's what this lady has to say. The rest of the NPCs generally just give you gameplay advice. If you want to get detailed information about the port you are in, go to a lodge and ask. So the NPCs you want to talk to are the lady who gives you a little bit of port advice, or a little bit of port information, just because that's fun. This guy will tell you what the specialty of the port is, the old man who's walking around. And then there's another lady who will tell you if there's an interesting ship at the shipyard. Everybody else is mostly just going to tell you how to play this game. And then there are dogs who will say bow wow. This is the cafe, because this is from the Super Nintendo era of censorship, where you cannot reference alcohol. So cafes are where you hire sailors. You can also gamble here if you want with strangers, and you can meet other sailors, like this guy, for example, Patrick Toman. Ahoy there, matey, how's life on the high seas? I'm a vagabond sailor. Vagabond sailors can be hired to join your crew, and sometimes they can do interesting things. You can also just gossip with them. I heard there aren't really any capable sailors in Antwerp. And they'll either tell you where other vagabond sailors are currently staying and looking for work, or they'll badmouth other towns. There's really not much going on there. Treating them will make them more likely to join you if you want to hire them. We don't need to hire anybody right now. And then there are waitresses. You have to pay to talk to them. You have to tip them, and they can give you useful information about other ports and other countries' fleets and things, and you can get them to love you by giving them gifts and telling them stories, and it's a whole process. This is the Round Earth Society. And this is a place where you can study. Studying will help you more than you realize, and this just gives you a chance to raise your luck, and then you can donate some money, which also gives you a boost to your luck. In the PC version of this game, because it doesn't have the same censorship things that the Super Nintendo version does, this is a church. And there are mosques in the Islamic countries where Christian characters, such as Ernst, for example, cannot enter. And likewise, Ali, being Turkish, is Muslim, and he can't enter churches. But they don't have that in this one. Everything's the Round Earth Society. And finally, this is the palace. The palace is only in the capitals of the 6 main countries, and commoners are not permitted to enter the palace. So we can't go in right now. At some point, we will be summoned, but for now, there is not much to do. So that's just kind of an explanation of how this game works, and you'll see it more as we play along. And so now we are going to go to the harbor, which is the anchor symbol right here, and this is how we leave the port. Professor, Captain, where will we go first? Well, Hans, why not Northern Europe? Have you ever heard of the fjords? Aye, the fjords of Norway. They were created when massive ice blocks slid off the mountains and carved the land below, right? I have heard many a sailor tell of their majestic beauty. Wow, you really know your stuff. The fjords are a major reason why the coastline of Northern Europe is so jagged. Aye, you're a wise one, Captain. You know, I've always wanted to take a look at that coastline. Me too. I'm tired of reading about things like the fjords. I want to see them with my own eyes. Aye, Captain, but it gets dangerous up north. If we were hit by some floating ice, we'd sink before you could say Kris Kringle. So until you've had time to gather some experience, I don't think we should venture too far, especially so far north, since safe harbors there are few and far between. We'd be sad and sorry lot if we ran out of provisions at sea. Aye, that would be a fine miss. You're right, Hans. We'll have to watch our supplies carefully. Although I'm grateful to him for this opportunity, Mercator sure didn't give us much gold. I'm afraid it won't get us very far. Well, Captain, we'll just have to make do, and I bet we'll discover some rare things in our travels. Collectors will pay a heap of gold to know such things. If we have a contract, we can trade information about the whereabouts for money. That's a good idea. But do you really think we'll be able to discover those rare items? Sure as my name is Hans, Captain. First of all, as we travel the world, we're bound to find some villages. Should disembark and form a search party. Sure we'll find something more often than not. And if we don't find anything, we should entertain and befriend the villagers. They know the secrets of their land. I've heard sailors say that a rare item can be found in every village. We'll discover lots if we just keep on looking. Forget your worries about gold. We'll be rich as kings. I'm lucky to have you, Hans. You know everything. Far from it, Captain. I learned all that from your father, a very wise and good man. My father, really? It's my dream to be a better geographer than my father. Ahoy there, matey. We'll be shoving off. So we can buy supplies. This is food, water, lumber for repairing our ship, and gunpowder if we have cannons. We can moor our ship here if we had extra ships. We can store them at the docks. But right now we're going to sail. We can sail for 20 days. And this just gives us the info about our ship. We're going to head out. And away we go. So this game is based on the real world. You can see other ships. For example, we take the Crow's Nest and we can look out, and here's Colin Lowe's merchant fleet. He's got 6 ships. Lowe's fleet is heading toward the south at a speed of 8 knots. So we can learn about other ships at sea. But the map is mostly accurate, not entirely accurate, but fairly accurate. So we found the port of Bergen. Why don't we stop here? Allied with Holland, this is in Northern Europe. So most towns don't really have a lot in them. Some of them do have some interesting things. Did you notice the long, narrow fingers of the sea bordered by steep cliffs around here? They are called fjords. So there you go. So she tells you about the fjords. Hey, you're a trader, aren't you? This port's got nothing special in the market, so this isn't really all that interesting of a trade port. And she saw a used light galley at the shipyard. This is a fortune teller. They're open at night. They can give you some information on certain things in your game about what you should do next. And that's about it, really. So this isn't really all that interesting of a port, but it's nice to stop off and visit the different parts of the world. And as you travel around, you'll find other ports. And if you have a first mate with celestial navigation, like we do, you can auto-sail, which makes things a little easier. Ahoy there, Swabby. Maybe I'm wrong, but he has the look of an unseasoned sailor. If you'd like, I could teach you the ins and outs of commanding a ship. And hear me words, and as I tell you the secret to smooth sailing. First, you need a hearty crew to handle the ship. You can find and hire some able-bodied seamen in a cafe. Next, you need a good supply of food and water for your crew. Get food and water at a harbor. Lastly, you need a captain for each ship. You'll be at the helm of your flagship, of course, but if you have ships besides your flagship in your fleet, you'll need a captain to steer each of those. So you may want to start looking in cafes and lodges for trustworthy mates to sail with you. In short, as long as you have crew, supplies, and captains, it'll be smooth sailing. Aye, it's as easy as shooting fish in a barrel. That voice is hard to do. It's tough on the throat. Oh, excuse me. We can sail for 16 days. So as we sail north, so I guess this is, these are supposed to be the fjords here. Just kind of have to use your imagination. Oh, something is happening. Commodore, quick, look at that! A ship with broken masts and decayed sails approached us soundlessly. No one was on board, but we heard the sound of sobbing as it passed by. So we found a ghost ship, and it just kind of spooked everybody. If I'm not mistaken, that does affect our stats a little bit. I think the ghost ship affects the hidden luck stat, so we might have lost a bit of luck from that. But, you know what? We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll just keep on sailing. Commodore, we found the port of Narvik. Your fame as an adventurer has gone up. Narvik is a supply port. It has no national identity, and it only has a harbor, so this is just a spot where you can get supplies. But you'll see that we've uncovered a bit more of the map. This is one of the last stops in the north if we were to sail around the coast of Russia. It's a long way before we find another port. But with supply ports, you can rename them, so you can give them, you can give it another name if you want. You can rename it just about anything. Don't really need to rename this right now. We've still got a lot of food and water left. What we will do is we will sail back. I was kind of worried about, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this game on Let's Playmond, because it is a bit slower of a game than some other ones. There isn't quite as much necessarily going on at once, but every once in a while, you know, a little bit of a slower experience can be fun too. Commodore, we found the port of Oslo. Oh, why don't we stop in Oslo? We'll wait for the sun to come up. So it is allied with England in this current situation. Alliances in ports. So these are port stats. I opened the wrong thing. You'll see we have 50 adventuring fame now because we found Narvik. That's on the left, the treasure chest. On the right, the scales is the economy. That's how strong the trade economy is. And then the gears are the shipbuilding economy, which determines how good of a ship that the place can build. 185 is pretty low. 1,000 is the maximum. And then the bag of money with the coins next to it, 99%, that's the trade status. So if you're selling goods here, you'll be selling them a little bit less than the ideal price. So it's not really all that wealthy of a port here. This town wouldn't have declined so much if it had joined the Hanseatic League. Great, good to know. I saw a used light galley ship at the shipyard. But you can find different sailors, and some towns will have item shops that have some rare or interesting things in them. And most of the other buildings are pretty much the same everywhere you go. Wood is the specialty of this port, so there you go. We've learned that. We might do a little bit of trading later. Right now we're just kind of getting into the swing of things. Alright, how long can we sail for? Won't be able to sail for long. Shall we cast off anyway? No, let's not do that. Let's supply. If you hit supply all, you just fill up your cargo with food and water. 26 barrels of food, 26 barrels of water, 520 gold pieces. So food costs you a little bit, water is free. Now we can sail for 20 days. So that'll give us some time to just kind of explore up in this region. This here, we can see... Oops, I missed it. No fleets in sight. Commodore, that's Copenhagen. So we could stop in Copenhagen if you want. You don't have to stop in every port. I kind of want to make it part of this playthrough to stop in every port. That seems very fitting for Ernst to stop and visit every single port in the world. Glassware is the specialty of this port. Good to know. This building is a special building. This can have different meanings depending on what it is. So who's in this building here? Count Mori. Before we discuss a contract, let me make sure you understand all there is to know about searching for rare things. First, the items that I am looking for are always in the village. So if you discover a village, be sure to go ashore and search for an item. If you can't find anything, entertain the villagers. They may help you search for something interesting. If they don't respond immediately, be persistent. Entertain them 2 or 3 times. As their friendliness goes up, you'll have a better chance of finding an item. The effort it takes to gain the villagers' trust is sometimes very worthwhile. So this is one of the characters that we can sell discoveries to. There are different characters in the game that will pay different prices, and if I'm not mistaken, Count Mori is one of the lesser ones. There's a couple that pay really well. We'll probably sign with one of them instead. One of the interesting things, I can show that to you now because this town has an item shop in it. You find the lodge. There it is. You must be tired. Please make yourself at home. Check in. 8 a.m. a good time for you to check out. If you say no, you can change it. If you change it to 2 in the morning, they'll get you up at 2 a.m. And then if you go to an item shop at 2 in the morning, it'll be open. And they will have, for a limited time only, we are selling some really special items that you don't usually see. So, for example, in this town, they have a lot of armor. Errol's plate, defense star rating. This is the best armor in the game if you're doing any combat. Half-plate armor made by the famous Copenhagen armorer Errol provides greater protection than plate mail armor. It is 300,000 gold pieces to buy, so we're not going to buy it. I'm sure you'll find something you like. But that's called the black market. And so towns that have item shops in them will have a black market at night at 2 in the morning. And sometimes they'll have some really rare and interesting things. So it always behooves you to stop in every port, investigate, and look around. Commodore, we found the port of Lübeck. And there is Hamburg. Alright, well, let's stop in Lübeck. We can't get to Hamburg from here. We'll have to go around. Lübeck is allied with Holland. Let's see what we can learn about Lübeck. Silver is the specialty of this port. Nice to know. We have skilled swordsmiths who make unique swords. I saw I used Hansa Cog ship at the shipyard. There are lots of different kinds of ships in this game. And here's the item shop. So we can buy some different swords here. What do they sell? Saber, longsword, and estoc. And then I assume if we come back at 2 in the morning, we can get an even more powerful sword. Again, probably for an exorbitant price. Let's find out. One of the other things in lodges, sometimes you'll find vagabond sailors here too. They are up here. I heard that a good navigator was at the cafe. If you get that message, there's nobody staying in the lodge that you can hire. we will go and see what we can find at the item shop at 2 a.m. There you go, a flamberge. This is an A-level attack sword, a long decorative sword with wavy edges. Its offensive capability is superior to both the rapier and the estoc. It is a fencing sword. There are different kinds of swords. Only 14,000 gold pieces, still more than we have. I might, since this game is wide open and you can do basically whatever you want, I will try to do other things on this character. But the thing about Ernst's story is you can complete it with the ship you start off with, and without ever hiring crew or doing much of the other things that the other characters can or have to do. There's Danzig. But to me that makes it more interesting because it's kind of really open-ended. And so Ernst is an explorer and he's a cartographer, so he's trying to create a map of the world. And, you know, we're sort of unlocking parts of the map as we sail around. And when we get back to Copenhagen, or not Copenhagen, Amsterdam, we will be able to sell that information. Nothing special in the market here. Use light galley ship at the shipyard. We love to eat salt-cured anchovies. Great. I love it. So this is allied with Holland. It doesn't seem to have anything particularly special. It has an item shop. The economy is just okay. What do they sell here? Leather armor and platinum comb. So armor, of course, is armor. Defends you in sword fights. Platinum comb is an accessory. A fancy comb made of platinum and decorated with rare gems. 10,000 gold pieces for that. That is something that you can buy to give to a waitress to kind of woo her and to make her give you more information and be more helpful in certain respects. Studying will help you more than you realize. Good luck in your travels. Every port has a round Earth society in it. I do like to stop and study every once in a while, just because it helps. We'll pop into the shipyard, we'll see what kind of ships they have. You don't know much about ships, eh? Us old sea dogs navigated the waters for over 40 years. I can give you some advice. What do you say, mate? Alright then, first of all, you must decide whether to build a new ship or buy a used ship. A new ship will be custom built to please you. The model, its materials, equipment, and everything will be just as you demand. But building a vessel is an expensive and time-consuming task. Although you may not find the ideal vessel, you may want to opt to buy a used ship. They're less expensive and ready to use. Either way, with your own ship, you'll be a true Limey. To get back to the story, the model of the ship determines its capacity. Ships that hold a large crew and many guns will have limited cargo space. If you want a vast hull to carry many goods, keep minimum space for crew and guns. Remember these things when you buy a ship. Good luck. So, we can take a look at some of their used ships. They have 5 ready to sail. 2 light galleys, a Caravella Redonda, a Hansa Cog, and a Dow. The light galley here. This small ship can't withstand rough waves, so it's pretty useless on the high seas. Will you buy this one? Doesn't sound great. Caravella Redonda. This one's easy to handle and makes for smooth sailing over the ocean. That sounds kind of nice. A Hansa Cog. This classic vessel was first built about 2 centuries ago. Unfortunately, it doesn't stack up to today's ships. And the Dow here. This durable craft's shallow hull makes it easy to maneuver, but its cargo capacity is limited. And you can see underneath where it says Dow, that little box, that's its cargo capacity, only 50, not a lot. It can hold 15 crew, 5 cannons, and it's not very strong. But it is moderately quick, so we don't need a new ship right now. We will explore ships a little bit later. One of the things I love about this game is I love old sailing ships. I've been in love with sailing ships for a very long time. In Dragon Quest IV, which was known as Dragon Warrior 4, when I first played it as a kid, there are a couple of different segments where you can get on a ship and you can explore the interior of the ship and walk around in it. And I have loved the old rigging ships and sailing ships ever since then. Here's Riga. And this game is just like perfect for that because there's all kinds of different ships. You can't walk in around and explore them like you could in Dragon Quest, but there's so many different kinds of ships you can build. And it's just a fun experience of this time of sailing. Wood is the specialty of this port. Oh, there's somebody. What can you tell me? How did you find such a remote port? Well, you're just sailing around, lady, just sailing around. And the shipyard will be over here. It's usually close to the water. Used Hansa Cog ship at the shipyard. And this place has a fortune teller and not much else. So we will take our leave. But as I said, you know, I haven't really played a game that does what this game does. Our crew is paid 20 gold pieces in wages. So at the end of the month, we pay our crew. That's just Hans, really. But as we hire more navigators to join us, vagabond sailors, that price will go up. And they can be useful for other things, besides just being captains of other ships. Because we could get, like, for example, a bookkeeper who will help us when we're trading. And that is something we will do eventually. There's Stockholm. Let's go stop in Stockholm. Northern Europe, allied with England. The alliances come into play when you're trading, because some ports being allied with another country will determine what taxes you pay when you're buying goods. And if you have a tax-free permit from the nation that the port is allied with, then you don't have to pay taxes on your trade goods. And it just kind of, it saves you 20% basically, so things are a little bit cheaper. But tax-free permits only last 6 months. You have to renew them, and you have to go to the palace to get them, and they're expensive when you're first starting out. So it's kind of a give and take, but there are other ways to get tax-free permits. What are they selling in this shop here? What have we got? Dagger, short sword, and a bastard sword. This is a straight sword, attack level A, so this is another powerful weapon. Sword with a grip about 7 inches long, wielded with 1 or 2 hands. It's one of the most destructive and expensive swords around. 14,000 gold pieces. Like I said, we'll get into combat a little bit later. But as you can see, this is not the most action-heavy kind of game right off the bat. Depends on the scenario that you play. Alright, so we've spent about 1,000 gold sailing around. We haven't made any money yet. We haven't found anything. This heavy fog is blocking our sight. So in some parts of the world there will be challenges. Fog is probably the least troublesome of them, but it does mean that if there is anything up here, it's a lot harder to find. Well, the fog is finally cleared. And I think we're fine. Alright, let's head back home. Oh, what have we found here? Commodore, do you hear that? The sound of female voices singing seemed to slowly approach the ship from the distant waves. The sweet, bewitching melody enticed many sailors to fling themselves into the ocean. And so you will see that we lost 5 men. 5 sailors jumped into the water because they heard the siren's bewitching melody. When the navigation number is red, it means it's harder to navigate the ship. It won't go as fast. So we just kind of have to adjust. There are dangers in the high seas that you can find. Some of them are mythological, and some of them are very real. Things that actually happen to sailors in real life. This is Edmund Harvey's, another British merchant fleet. If you sail close to the ships, you can talk to them. That's what this is for. We're on our way home. You're kind of going the wrong way. This is a Dutch battle fleet. Leonie van Foyk. He's got carracks and galleons. Those are battleships. We're looking for Gabriel of Italy. Alright, we're going to stop in Amsterdam, capital of Holland. So now that we've sailed around a little bit, we've uncovered a bit more of the map than we had when we started. We can stop and visit our friend Mercator and turn in what we found, and he will pay us. So, Ernst, have you gotten used to sea travel yet? Thank you for all your hard work. Here's your pay, 2,800 gold pieces. Come back again. So there we go, and we'll get a little bit of fame as well. So now we have 225 fame and adventure, and we got 2,800 gold pieces. So as we uncover things and uncover the map, Mercator will pay us money, and it'll advance our fame in adventure a little bit. At this point, the game basically just lets you figure things out. I'll see if I can find a village before I sign off for the night, or the day, depending on what you think. Or when you're watching this, could be any time. Hoy there, matey, you'll be shoving off. I can sail for 18 days. Obviously, when you have fewer crew, you don't need to feed them as much. Alright, so this is Antwerp, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. We'll come back. We'll come back. This is London. There might be a village around here. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. There it is. Found a village. Your fame as an adventurer has gone up. So there are, I believe, 100 in the game, but only 50 load in any particular save file, so it's random which ones you find. This is one of the first ones that you will probably find. And what we do is we search. We discovered ruins of an ancient civilization. And we've discovered Stonehenge. Prehistoric monument consisting of rings of stones, with the outermost ring made up of large stone columns, believed to have been an astronomical observatory. And so that's what we found here. There's nothing interesting to find here. You can only find one thing at a village. If we had found nothing, we would have had to entertain the villagers. That costs us a little bit of our food. So it can be tricky if you're far from a port and you are running out of food because you have to feed your crew. But we will sail away for now. That's the anchor. This one is Bristol. So you can see the map is sort of accurate. Like it's, you know, it's a map of the world, and they did their best to make things as accurate as possible. That's Bordeaux. So we're going to stop in Bordeaux. This is one of the most important ports in the game for a couple of reasons. Allied with England. I don't know if that's true. But as far as the game goes, France isn't a naval power in this game. Raisins are the specialty of this port. Oops, talked to him a second time. So in this part of the world, these guys wear these little hats. A figurehead is not just for decoration, it will protect you from accidents and monsters out in the high seas. It's good to know. Different parts of the world, the characters, the NPCs, they dress differently. There are different cultures all over the planet, right? So they reflect that here. There are grapes growing all around this port. Have you ever seen so many? This town sells an item called balm. A perfumed oil believed to calm storms. It's an emergency item. 1,000 gold pieces. I'm not going to buy one right now. But this is one of the places in the game where you can get them. They are incredibly valuable because storms will destroy your ship and sink you and kill you. And so you want to have some bombs handy. And this port also has this guy. This is Professor Mord. And he's another one of the people that you can sell your discoveries to. He will pay you the best. Him, and there's one other port, I believe it's Lisbon, that will pay you for discoveries the best. Other places will pay you less. So this is generally the guy I go to when I'm selling discoveries. As long as you have a contract with us, you can't sell your discoveries to any other nobleman. Do you agree to the terms of this contract? Yes. Looking forward to hearing exciting news from you. And so we can tell him about the things that we found. Stonehenge. Stonehenge? Then here is 2,500 gold pieces. And there we go, we have some money. He will tell you where other villages might be. Come to think of it, I've heard some say there's a village around 25 degrees north, 30 degrees east, but it's only a rumor. And so that will give you an idea of where to find another village. And now we have 355 fame and adventure, and we have a little bit more money. So that's kind of how Ernst's story is going to go. We're going to sail around the world, discover interesting and rare things, visit ports, and chart the entire planet. We've gotten started, but we have a long, long way to go. So I hope you stick with me here on Let's Playmond with Ted Raymond. I'll see you next time.